moment just to get them all settled and down. But now both players are, oh, looks like there's a quick mulligan here. But yes, as I mentioned, we're facing up with a Golden Go deck versus Lost Giratina.
Absolutely love to see it there. We've got Lawrence there on the left. Liverpool regional top 120. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So Lawrence doing fantastically well there. I'd like to see if that was a Golden Go he got that placement with there, so we can check as the round goes on.
Yeah, I believe that's he'll be piloting Giratina.
Oh, I've got it the wrong way around. I apologize.
And Alfredo Oros will be piloting that Golden Go EX deck alongside the Palkia V-Star, which we've seen kind of fit in a number of different decks now. It's not something we've usually pulled together as a deck concept, but they seem to work very well. We see they kind of do quite fairly big things in other tournaments so far. A couple of top 32s here and there, but Golden Go still flying a little bit under the radar, I reckon.
It is, and it's an interesting pairing, like you mentioned here, with the Palkia V-Star. Not something that traditionally would make a lot of sense, I believe, but Palkia is a fantastic self-sufficient attacker. We're going to look at prize cards there. So we've got a Cramorant in the prizes there for Lawrence, and then for Alfredo, does have one of those Gimmighoul, does have those nice special illustration rare ones that are going to jump out at us, things you love to see. But yeah, Palkia is a self-sufficient attacker, as we are going to get our fist bump here. We're going to kick off our Swiss Round 7 feature match here at Dortmund Regionals. Lawrence piloting that Giratina V-Star deck versus Alfredo playing that Golden Go deck, and Alfredo's going to start us off here. Earthen Vessel, discarding a Water Energy, search your deck for any 2 basic energy, put them in your hand, and get to do a little prize check as well. Yeah, that little Gimmighoul in the active spot there. Fantastic artwork that blends in with the actual evolution as well. Alfredo will be looking to try and get as many of those down as soon as possible to really begin to build out the board. You know, because they're quite small, these little Gimmighouls, if they don't evolve up. And at the same time, they want to be evolving up to utilize that fantastic coin bonus ability. Yeah, that coin bonus ability, letting you draw 1 card if the Golden Go is in the on the bench. And then if it's in the active, you can draw 2. And if you have like 3 or 4 of them out, it adds up rather nice, and you see an extra 3 or 4 cards a turn. Yeah, exactly that. And it's going to be one of those things where Lawrence, with that Lost Tina deck, will be trying to utilize those 4 Path to the Peaks to try and slow him down. Oh, goodness. Alongside those Roxannes and an Iono as well, as Alfredo does grab the Greninja out of the deck with, I believe, an Ultra Ball, discarding 2 of those Water Energies as well, and making sure he knows where they all are. Similar to that Chen Pao that we've seen already, has access to them later on with things like Superior Energy Retrieval. And Star Portal as well, if that Palkia would like to attack, and you need to get those water in the discard pile. As you are going to see concealed cards give it a 4 Water Energy here. Oh, no more Gimmighoul though. Not yet. I mean, I think that's... We'll be a little bit nervous knowing that there's opportunities for Lawrence to use Cramorant, but we do know it is prized. Lawrence has yet to dig through the deck to find out. He hits the board with a Chorus Experiment to kick us off first. So, big first 5 cards here. Lawrence, as I mentioned, we're looking to try and build up those plays where maybe we can utilize Greninja, take for its sort of cheeky knockouts with that Moonlight Shuriken, or maybe utilizing the Giratina, use a Beseeching, really drive into and play into those Roxannes that he has in his deck as soon as possible as well. It says there, it's just a double check of what is in the hand, which cards are going to go to the Lost Zone. You know, I think it's a showcase because there's already 4 Water Energies in Alfredo's discard pile, that it's very likely Alfredo will be playing some form of water recovery like the Palkia V-Star. So it's asking a lot of questions of Lawrence, I think. Yeah, it's Lawrence's first turn. He's going to start there with Flower selecting. Let's have a quick rundown of how this Giratina V-Star deck works. So Giratina V-Star like to get cards into the Lost Zone. 4 is the first number you like to get. So that Cramorant can attack for free, is in the prize card, so don't have to worry about too much about that in this game 1. Once you get to 7 cards in the Lost Zone, your Mirage Gates will be able to be played, letting you accelerate energy, as Lawrence is going to play a Battle VIP pass here as well. And then when you get to 10 cards in the Lost Zone, Lawrence can use the Giratina V-Star Star Requiem attack, which auto KOs whatever's in the active. And then Sableye can use Lost Mine, letting you spread 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. Yeah, there was, I think, double Giratina came down after the first Chorus Experiment as well. So yes. Beginning to set up the board very nicely here.
this Battle VIP pass will also allow Lawrence to work out exactly which route to go down, maybe utilizing Greninja himself and being able to draw more cards. He is just double checking the energy counts that are available to him during this matchup. Loads of people changing and testing different sort of counts. Lawrence has gone with the double water rather than the full free of that we saw earlier from Benjamin Pham. So it does mean it's not as easy to get the Moonlight Shuriken off.
No, but at least still does have the option there. And I think, as you said, the Guillotine is a deck close to your heart at this moment in time. If you were sitting across the table from someone that has a Gimmighoul down, how would you be trying to approach the matchup?
I mean, Lawrence would have already worked out that unfortunately Cramorant is not available.
Yep, of course.
Because if they was able to sort of maneuver around, that Gimmighoul would no longer be there.
Yeah.
That's Spit Innocently would be taking out the only Gimmighoul on Alfredo's side of the board. However, in this scenario, I mean, I don't think you really want to be giving up Giratinus too quickly or too early. But for you to ramp up to that 7 and that 10, because you want to be combining that with Roxanne and giving up some prizes anyway, maybe that's the way forward here.
As it looks like we are going to see a Jet Energy activation. Going to zoom that Comfey into the active. Going to use Flower Select. You like the sound effects, aren't you?
Oh, of course.
Come on now. We are going to see... Did he even look at the second card there?
Yeah, he had a quick look.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's confidence. We're going to see a Nest Ball. Look at that. Oh, that lovely promo one there from those play packs. As it looks like Lawrence is going to be targeting another Comfey.
Yeah, just kind of keep dancing around with Flower Selects for the time being. Potentially lose one prize, because then if he does aim to try and go for something like Abyss Seeking on next turn, or maybe even trying to just attack with a V-Star and use Lost Impact and take a knockout on a Goldengo as well, you know, that's one way to very quickly ramp up and get those 2 prizes, because of the board state that Alfredo is currently representing. It's only the one Gimmighoul.
We are going to see another Flower selecting there. So, yeah, if Cramorant was around, this would have been fantastic. Unfortunately, it is not, as we are going to see a Roxanne hit the Losser. Normally a backbone of a Giratina player's late game. And we see a path to the peak as well, and a pass over to Alfredo. What can he cook up?
Yeah, I guess Lawrence very happy to slam down that path nice and early, because he does play 4 copies of Path to the Peak. Just trying to slow down Alfredo at any means necessary. You know, there's that Greninja's waiting on the bench to draw cards. That hand, super shiny. Is that Nest Ball?
Nest Ball, Superior Energy Retrieval, Boss's Orders, Palkia V-Star, and a Golden Go. So
can start swinging away, but will be susceptible to a return knockout if there's no other way to find another Gimmighoul. Well, he's got the Nest Ball.
Has the Nest Ball, but then would have to play a Superior Energy Retrieval. Leave himself in a very, well, would it be a 0-card hand actually? You play the Nest Ball, Superior Energy Retrieval away the Palk and the Boss, and then put down the Golden Go. So yeah, that would actually leave you with a no-card hand, but might be all you can do. That tactical path to the peak there is going to deny any use of conceal cards or coin bonus, which would have been another 2 cards from the top of the deck for Alfredo, but that path to the peak coming in super clutch.
Maybe just try and target down a Giratina V if possible.
Maybe, yeah.
But unfortunately, that path to the peak really sort of inhibiting what Alfredo could do, because if that wasn't in play, he would be able to draw 2 cards. Does target the Origin Form Palkia V onto the board. Another fantastic art work there. There's a lot of shiny cards in Alfredo's list.
Yeah, it's a very high rarity deck. Don't get to see that too often, but we are going to see the Gimmighoul here. Now, is there a way you can play this hand without getting rid of that Palk V-Star? No. Okay.
And the Boss as well. So this is it's a big play, because it's just taken knockout here on the Comfey.
Well, I guess if you can start set up this Palkia is a low maintenance attacker. So, you know, worst case scenario, if you can try and, you know, find a Palk V-Star next turn, you already, you know, start attacking. Whereas if you find a Gimmighoul, you have to evolve, get an energy, start swinging. So Alfredo is going to get on the prize race here with that Make It Rain. Yeah,
Make It Rain, just the one discard there. Fantastic, very, very useful attack to be able to knock out the Comfey, which is weak to metal.
Yes.
Of course, so just one discard is more than enough to knock out the Comfey there. But puts himself in a really awkward scenario. Looks like the one prize he did take was that Metal Energy.
Oh, no.
So not ideal here either. Path to the Peak really slowing things down. And Lawrence will be looking to try and retaliate with a V-Star, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, a lost impact here would be fantastic. Doing at 280 and would just, you know, remove this Golden Go. And then a Palkia V-Star from Alfredo wouldn't really be able to deal with a Giratina V-Star. So lost impact, just swing again. It would be very nice. As long as it does get to 7 cards in the lost zone, so Mirage Gates are live. We will need to try and get a Giratina V-Star still, but in a fantastic position, at least now.
Yeah, because he would have been looking at Alfredo's turn there. Unfortunately, had to discard the Origin Form Palkia V-Star with that superior energy retrieval as well. So it's not as if he has a really efficient attacker to come swinging with ease, unless he had a read, but I don't think it was possible because it was only energies that he took into his hand from that retrieval.
Oh, I think there's a V-Star and a Mirage Gate in hand already, and a basic energy. Is there even a switching card? I mean, actually, we wouldn't even need that. You can just Mirage Gate.
Mirage Gate to the active.
Mirage Gate to the active, manual retreat to the bench. I think Lawrence has a very good turn lined up, doing everything he can really want to do this turn, I believe. And that's where you want to be when you're in this Swiss round 7 of a regional championship.
The attachment. Maybe it does need more, because if there was, even with the Mirage Gate, it needs one more Mirage Gate maybe.
Okay.
Because to be able to use Lost Impact, remember, it needs that 3 energies, 1 Psychic, 1 Grass, and 1 colorless energy. If he's been able to find anything like a Jet Energy, that would do it as well.
Yep, Jet Energy would be great. Switching card also would get you there.
Is there a... Oh, it hits
double Mirage Gate.
So it should be guaranteed if the energies are in the deck right now. Just to support that, there is a Super Rod being played now, just to get the 2 energies back into the deck. No energies were prized on Lawrence's side either, so getting full value here.
You're going to see the Mirage Gate being played. If you have 7 cards in the lost zone, you can play it, letting you grab any 2 basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon, as long as the energy are different types, and attach your Pokemon in any way you like. Fantastic for a power like Giratina V-Star, who for a Grass, Psychic, and a colorless energy cost can do Lost Impact, dealing 280 damage, which is a fantastic number for KOing Golden Go EX.
Ooh, chooses to Mirage Gate to the second Giratina here. The Psychic and a Water Energy maybe already has a way of maneuvering around already. I mean, he's just staring down at 1 Golden Go EX right now. So what else is in that hand?
Wait, what?
Just a pass over.
Wow, okay.
As we do give a chance for Alfredo to keep maneuvering across. Does have energy in hand, can continue taking knockouts here.
I mean, that's all he can do, really. Attach energy to that Palkia V, and it will just be announcing that Make It Rain, discarding 1 energy from his hand to deal 100 damage thanks to weakness, and get on the board, taking the second prize card. What will Lawrence do this turn?
Yeah, I mean, just giving up 1 more Comfey there. So just taking this knockout would level the prize race here.
It would.
As we do see the Giratina V-Star promoted to the active spot. Just 1 energy away now from utilizing that incredible attack. It's got Lost Impact for 280 and bumping up the lost zone up over the 10 threshold as well. Poker Gear coming down, 7.
Go to top 7, grab any support or pop it in your hand. I think there's a Chorus right at the front of the hand there. Yep, Chorus is ready and eager to help Lawrence get in this game. And that Chorus experiment is so fantastic for his lost zone decks, letting you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, keep 3, and put 2 into the lost zone. That Chorus experiment was so strong that we've seen it in other decks that aren't even lost zone decks. Remember, like Arceus Duraludon, for example, loved playing a little Chorus experiment back in the day. Say back in the day when it wasn't really that long ago, but... Fantastic card for that deck as well. Yeah, super strong. Being able to look at 5 cards and just remove 2 of the cards that you just don't need maybe for particular matchups. As you do see it hit the field here as well. Like I said, look at the top 5 of your deck. Select 2 to go into the lost zone and the rest go into your hand. Looks like it's just eyeing up what energies are available to himself here. Has now reached the number 10, well, 11 really in Lost Zone. So could Requiem
as an option as well.
I think Rec Room would be super strong, right? Because you just eject this Golden Go. That Palkia V-Star, even if it does evolve into a V-Star, can't be hitting 280, at least without, you know, massive bench damage, bench Pokemon. So then you just say, right, I just attach one more energy and then I lost impact that as well. Like, it's quite an intimidating place to be.
There's the water energy attachment to the active. You know, there's not going to be a retaliation Golden Go EX from here. So here is just a removal, keeps the Psychic and Grass energy on the active, knowing that it's going to be really difficult. There's a Roxanne, but not yet activated.
Live. Here comes a Gimme Ghoul. You argue a couple turns too late there, but is getting ready to join the fray. We have Radiant Greninja, recipient of energy, and it's going to be a Rule the Region. I guess that's one way to get around Paths to the Peak, but you could argue it's a very, very slow way, as all Lawrence needs to do is attach a basic energy, and that Palkia V will be sent to the discard pile via Lost Impact.
Yeah, it's not the greatest of turns, unfortunately, after what looked to be a decent start. Getting Golden Go EX going from turn 2, just wasn't able to start drawing cards, whereas Lawrence now, a big hand, lots of options available to him in there. There's another energy there also to utilize as a way of lost zoning for the attack. And there's an Avery just to draw free. One
of my favorite cards, that Avery. Not being used to discarding any bench Pokemon, but it's still going to draw free and keep that Path to the Peak. As we do see another Giratina V-Star there from Lawrence. It's just all things you really want to see if your Lawrence can just use V-Star this turn. Still hasn't attached energy yet. Has played supporter. So we are going to see a Grass energy attached to that Giratina V-Star on the bench. Wow, look at this hand. To borrow a phrase from one of our other casters, Benjamin Rabioti, got the accordion hand where it's just so big. If you want to look at all the options, you're having to really start flicking through.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, there's not been any disruption from Alfredo's side, so all the options really available throughout this game so far for Lawrence. Although taking a knockout here will activate that Roxanne in Alfredo's hands, which could sometimes turn things completely around as this quick draw. It's a cool
I had one in hand anyway, but there goes that Path to the Peak. We're going to see that immediate Roxanne Pokestop's going to hit the playing surface, which now means that Golden Go EX in the active ability will be live. That coin bonus, letting you draw 2 cards if it's in the active or 1 if it's on the bench. So Alfredo's going to have access to a ton of cards this turn. Just going to try and eject this goods in the V-Star and cross his fingers that Lawrence won't be able to draw out of this Roxanne.
Yeah, could be massive here.
Yeah, it could.
Of course, there is a Giratina on the bench also loaded up. Just needs 1 energy to be able to retaliate. There's 1 energy, so can continue drawing some cards. Superior Energy Retrieval as well. So looking in a really good spot now. Pokestop still not yet activated. A couple of cards.
There's the coin bonus. Nothing particularly helpful there. So a cross switcher and a Pokestop. I think it has actually got 2 cross switches in hand. I mean, not that you even want to play them right now, but could be a nice option later on.
Not this turn, but maybe on future turns. There's a Greninja, concealed cards here. Looking for more Gimmigles. There's a concealed Cologne. Oh, cancelling Cologne, sorry. Concealed Cologne. That'd be a new one.
What's a concealed Cologne?
We'll try and work that one out later, I reckon. Pokestop being activated.
1, 2.
Ooh, that's not ideal.
Gimmighoul and a worker. That worker's not doing a lot of work this game, that's for sure.
Would I have wanted to have seen maybe the Ultra Ball being played to grab another Gimmighoul? Would have been good, I think.
I'm not sure we can actually see a KO here. There's not enough energy in hand. I don't think there's enough in the discard pile to play both of these superior energy retrievals. I think you need 6 to KO Giratina V-Star. As we are going to see the cross switches being played into the Radiant Greninja. This could be a little bit of a boss's orders stall play and try and build up your options next turn, I believe.
Yes, we do see now a superior energy retrieval just coming down, or looks to be coming down, discarding that cancelling Cologne and Ultra Ball. Just getting that 1 metal energy and 3 water from the discard pile there into the hand. But yeah, unfortunately, it feels like he just missed out.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be no attack, so it's just going to be a pass over to Lawrence. If Lawrence has energy and boss, and I think there might be a boss in that hand, actually, would actually be able to, and a switching card, I should say, we'll be able to win this turn. We do see a switch card. Into the comfy. Here we go.
Gets to see another 2 cards from Flower selecting. 1, 2.
Oh, we can't see them when you do them like that, Lawrence. Come on.
Keeping us on the edge.
Ooh, what's it going to be?
Path to the peak. Got to be good if you're throwing away a path to the peak.
Counter catcher? Can't quite see. Would love to see. Was that a boss? I think it was a boss actually.
Yep, you know, this is really big here. There's an opportunity for Lawrence to take this game 1 as soon as possible. You know, just 1 energy away and 1 boss away here. Remember, most Giratina lists now are back up to 2 boss rather than utilizing those counter catchers, as we do see a path to the peak come down. So, options here. He could potentially take a slower route and just give it a chance, but yeah, it was a pass over. Pokestop instantly slammed once again, Shay. Yeah, what can we see happen?
I mean, Alfredo does have a ton of cards in his hand, you know. Has the cross switches, just needs a lot of energy, and we'll be able to start swinging for massive damage. I don't think it's going to be terribly hard, as we do see the heavy ball being played. We see the Palk V-Star coming down now as well. Star Portal is live. Trying to think, is there any reason to do a Moonlight Shuriken? Probably not, but it's an option. A Star Portal letting you grab 3 water energy from your discard pile and attach them to your water type.
Another concealed cards, grabs the Lost Vacuum and a Super Rod here. Still not quite enough. Another cross switcher available to Alfredo. So we do see the coin bonus and the Pokestop. Earthen Vessel.
There's Earthen Vessel? Is that a needle mover?
Is that enough energies there?
Is that a needle mover? So we've got 2 in hand. Earthen Vessel goes to 4.
He's moving quickly.
Yeah, so there's going to be
2 in hand.
2 more.
So it's 4 in total.
We need 6 to get to that 300 mark to carry that Giratina V-Star.
Still need so much, Shay.
That's the thing.
It's still just not enough.
Super Rod doesn't quite get it there. We're tantalizingly close. Oh, and how it's such a shame, you know, when you hold on to double cross switch and you're just so close. I'm trying to think, what is the win con here for Alfredo? Or what is the out, I should say? You know, we say, you know, play to your outs. If you can't swing for a carry here, do you maybe Star Portal, cross switcher, and just, you can't really do that because then you need the Palk V-Star in the active, which is just a lost impact away.
There we go. There is a Star Portal happening now, it looks like. Oh, just confirming, I don't think there was there an attachment onto that Golden Go?
No, that was definitely last turn. That was definitely last turn.
2 water energies from the discard, as both players are just double checking with the judges, making sure everything's all okay here. But this is one option, just to kind of maybe start to weaken the Giratinas, maybe. There's an option.
Yeah. I mean, you have to play it to your outs, right? You know, if Lawrence doesn't have the energy, at least you're putting damage on the board there, and you can, you know, try maybe take a 2-shot with a Subspace Swell, and then, you know, the Golden Go can come swinging in. So, yeah, definitely not out the woods yet for either player, but Alfredo definitely has a hill to climb, but perfectly capable. And I tell you what, those cards are stunning on Alfredo's side of the board. I see so much gold. And
have you seen all the different types of energy as well? Just underneath the Ninja, you've got the crisscross.
Crosshatch Hollow, love
exactly.
that.
And then the sort of older school energies as well. But as we do continue here, it looks like.
So it looks like we are going to see the Moonlight Shuriken there. It's going to place 90 damage on the Radiant Greninja and then KO the active. Oh boy.
Interesting that he's chosen to go for the Greninja here. I guess Alfredo is saying, well, if you're not able to do anything with this Radiant Greninja in the active spot, I'm going to take out your Radiant Greninja and weaken one of your Giratinas next turn as well, and then put myself in a potentially good spot.
Wait, is there a boss in hand? There is a boss in hand.
Nice and easy. Nothing, just like that. You called it earlier where there was a boss, and all he needed is that 1 energy to be able to deal 280 damage and take the game.
Yeah, wow, that jet energy coming in super clutch there, letting that Giratina V-Star maneuver into the active. And I think that's the dangerous thing about Giratina into this Golden Go matchup, is that a lot of the times Lost Impact, you know, can't actually take big KOs in stuff like Gardevoir or Mew VMAX. But when all your attackers get KO to lost impact, it just makes Giratina such more of a deadly force.
No, 100%. I mean, Alfredo wasn't really able to get too many gimmicks down in one go. Lawrence also played a very measured, slower game. You know, he gave up a couple of comfes earlier on, which, unless he just wasn't able to stretch for the energies to attack that turn, but taking out that one golden go would have been pretty devastating. Yeah. But it didn't matter in the end, because Lawrence, even after that Roxanne, was able to wait a couple more turns. You know, it's just still using Comfey to keep flower selecting, see more cards, and then when he was ready, utilize that jet energy with that boss and take the final 2 prizes to win game 1 of our round 7 in the Dortmund Regional Championships.
Yeah, and I think that game 1 was more of a game of contrast, in my opinion. You know, Alfredo had a very, you know, not the best of starts, so it's safe to say that. And Lawrence was very explosive and being able to get cards in the loss zone. So I'm intrigued to see how this one pans out. But bear in mind, Lawrence did actually prize that Cramorant in game 1 as well. So that was also a non-factor. So let's see how all these X factors play into this game too. Yeah,
just an opportunity for, again, newer faces onto our stream here, piloting. Obviously one which is a very well-known deck and has been for some time now. Lost Giratina has been doing well in so many different tournaments around the world, and Golden Go, which has kind of slipped under the radar a little bit.
It has.
Hasn't quite in big numbers made it through to day 2s and into really high positions. But, you know, Alfredo's here. He's brought the deck. He's currently 5-1. He's still very much in contention regardless of the outcome of this round. So, you know, it could happen. It could still very much happen. He just needs to make it rain.
Make it rain, baby. And if any deck in format can make it rain and come back from this 0-1 harm, I'm putting Golden Go quite up there. Because, you know, it almost reminds me a little bit of the Chen Power, right? If things are going your way and you'll just announce and make it rain for like KO after KO after KO, there's not a lot your opponent can really do about it. So I'm very intrigued. It looks like players are getting ready to start here. Looks like Lawrence still hasn't got himself a basic. Yeah. Although I know what's happened. All those basic Pokemon, like, you know what? I don't want no part of this. I don't want to have all those coins dropped on my head anytime soon. I'm going to stay in the deck. How's about that?
Those poor little Comfeys were getting targeted down.
They were,
by the Make It Rain of Golden Go, and also the Greninja as well. You know, just relentless, just taking all the hits, soaking up all that damage. As we do see, it's not a great start, but there is a supporter there, but it's just a Sableye for the time being. Be interesting to see if Alfredo has chosen to go first or second. Of course, trying to allow himself to use maybe supporters here, as we do get a glance of the prizes.
2 copies of Grass Energy were prized there. Could be impactful.
Could play a massive part. As we do see Lawrence drawing first.
Lawrence going first. Could actually work out well for Alfredo. I don't think, did Lawrence even have a playable?
Wasn't many.
Not a single playable card, Alex, here in our round 7 game 2 feature match. Not a playable card there for Lawrence. Alfredo is going to go off to the races here with that Battle VIP pass, the polar opposite of game 1. Going to get loads of basic Pokemon down and try and get back. Even this up at 1-1.
Yeah, thankfully Lawrence will probably be breathing a sigh of relief, knowing that Alfredo has next to no opportunity to actually donk that poor little Sableye in the active spot. And we know Lawrence has a Chorus Experiment in hand, so things can happen. I mean, actually, that Pokemon that's just come down from the Battle VIP pass could technically do it.
It could. That continuous coin toss. Flip a coin until you get tails. The attack does 20 for each head. Now, I don't think Alfredo, outside of double cross switches, actually plays any switching cards, so that Palkia will be stuck there. But I tell you what, if that little Gimmighoul came up for a continuous coin toss per game, that would be beautiful. We're going to see Pokestop getting rid of an Irida, a Golden Go EX, but you gain an Earthen Vessel.
Well, yeah, that Earthen Vessel hits the discard as well, but those item cards go back to the hand, as we do see it utilized here. Discarding one of those metal energies Alfredo plays to grab 2 waters. Just get him out of the deck. Does have access to concealed cards now, of course, as well.
Yep.
Maybe even decides to use Palkia to attack once again, to use that rule the region, just in case Lawrence does slam down a path to the peak on the next turn.
You know what? I don't mind it, actually, since you've played one as well. So we always say that concealed card's going to discard a water energy, draw 2. Was that a Roxanne and a water, I believe?
Yep, still just a one gimme ghoul, just hanging in there by itself, not bringing its friends to the board yet. But at the same time, Rule the Region will be pulling out another stadium card from Alfredo's. There's the Pokestop going straight to the hand as it passes back over to Lawrence here, hoping for a little bit of a better top deck alongside those Chorus Experiment in hand.
Well, we know we've got at least one Chorus, but bear in mind those Battle of our P-Pass will be no longer live. So let's see what these 5 cards are here for Lawrence. Was that a nest ball at least?
I
hope it was, because I know the other cards definitely weren't that great. Still no playables in the hand, actually. Now look at it, apart from Jet Energy.
Not looking pretty as we get a chance to see from the hand cam as well. Oh, this is tough. Water Energy going to the Lost Zone. Just trying to decide what other card is there. It looks like a Poker Gear selection up against one Mirage Gate. There is a nest ball, so...
There's one nest. I think there's a Jet Energy as well, so we'll be able to fling whatever you target from that... Oh, ever give it to the V in hand. Okay, that's not as bad then. Okay. Woo, I was going to say.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit worried for you, Lawrence.
We were getting a little bit worried.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know. But it's fine. Nest ball coming down now. Will it be some more... I guess Radiant Greninja, as long as there's another energy there available. Remember, has priced 3 of his energies that are in the prizes. There was 1 Psychic and 2 Grass that were prized. So let's just see whether maybe he chooses to go for the Comfey and starts flower selecting, maybe goes for the Greninja, starts trying to draw more cards, and then maybe utilize this bit seeking, weave it in somehow.
Yeah.
Number of options, that's why people like the Giratina deck. It has so many options, takes a lot of 50-50s against a lot of decks across the board at the moment. But it just comes down to the individual piloting again. Lawrence is doing super well. Again, another player is 5-0, 5-1 with a Lost Giratina deck. So maybe just trying to figure out his route to victory here, despite already being 1 game up.
As we are going to see that nest ball concluding there without Radiant Greninja. That concealed card's one of the best abilities in the game. Then you discard 1 energy card from your hand to draw 2. I guess there is a world. I mean, if you're going to try and weave in an Abyss Seeking, could this be the better turn to do it? In the sense that for Alfredo to take a big KO, it's harder to do it at the start of the game when the deck's still full of cards that aren't energy or super energy retrieval. So maybe this could be the turn to do it, but...
There's a concealed. I mean, it would be ideal if he could hit another Giratina V, but at the same time, it comes down to whether Lawrence has that game knowledge as well. There is the second one, so it doesn't even matter now. I think Abyss Seeking would be great in this scenario, because if Lawrence had knowledge of what Golden Go and the deck's built, there wouldn't be any switch cards in there. It's only cross switches, so just the 1 Giratina and the active swap wouldn't be that detrimental for him. We do see the Jet Energy bring it forward, and here's Abyss Seeking, 4 cards into hand. Well, sorry, not into hand.
Not quite.
Look at 4 cards and put 2 into hand, 2 into the Lost Zone.
Yeah, another fantastic way of actually accelerating that Lost Zone counter. It's not an attack you use in every matchup, but when you do get to use it, it can be very, very strong.
You'd be surprised. I think you actually use it quite often nowadays.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you allow your opponent so often to...
feed them the prizes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it has become pretty much a Roxanne Path deck.
Yeah, I mean, it always has been, in my opinion. It'll be a Roxanne Path.
Yeah, unless you're
equalizer.
Unless your opponent's slowing down, as we do see a Pokestop come down here. A Palkia V going over to the discard. Couple of items there into the hand. Does have the evolution and the nest ball.
Wow.
We're going to see multiple of these Gimme Ghouls and Golden Goes out now, I like to expect. There it is, move to the front of the deck. This is a bit more like it, I think.
Yeah, we're starting to see all the gangs coming down with their arms crossed there. That Make It Rain attack for 1 energy on that Golden Goat EX. For 1 metal energy, discard as many basic energy from your hand as you like. You do 50 for each one. Don't forget, it has that ability, coin bonus. Then you draw a card if it's on the bench, or 2 if it's in the active. So a very strong and high-powered deck if you can ferry those energy into your hand.
Yeah, similar in effect to how we've seen Chen Pao before, but this time from hands rather than attached to the Pokemon. So it does skips past the necessary need to use Super Cold to get energies on the board. It's just get them back in all into hand and then make it rain like a boss.
Make it rain like a boss, as we are going to see that Earthen Vessel there. Discarding a Water Energy, which is very nice, because I think Alfredo does have the Palkia V-Star in hand, so Star Portal might actually be used here just to get this Palkia V-Star out of the active, because I think the hand might support a KO, actually, on this Giratina V. Ooh. If we can get that Giratina V, that Palkia V or V-Star out of the active.
Yeah, this is it's one of those tricky things with the deck when your only maneuverability is via those cross switches. A fantastic card, of course, but only usable when you get to play two at the same time. But not only do you get to gust up one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, you also have to maneuver one of your bench into the active spot as well. As we do see here further, it looks like the evolution up to the Origin Form V-Star is an option here.
Yep.
Could start trying to swing with it, but just maybe a bit of a waste, unfortunately. Just double checking what access to energy he has in the deck, in the discard right now. So many options here. A couple of superior energy retrievals, energy in hand.
Does still have the access to use Worker, discard the stadium and draw 3. Oh, double cross switch, you know.
Yeah, has an out to it now. Can target the other Giratina V. Only problem is that's 3 cards he would usually use to try and knock a path of the peak out of the way.
True.
A 4th now.
Wow, yeah, this is very aggressive play, as we are going to see the Pokestop being used, getting rid of a Worker, superior energy retrieval, and wow.
There you go.
Have all 4 cross switches.
Have all the pieces of the puzzle for future turns, and Lawrence, you know, will have an opportunity to use Iono and maybe utilize Roxanne's later turns.
Yeah, see that coin
another coin bonus as well. How many cards are we drawing here?
There's a lot of cards being drawn this turn. But I think now can actually save the Star Portal. And you can just double cross switch and go after that Giratina V on the bench. I quite like that. I also don't mind using Star Portal. Now you've mentioned that there's so many path outs gone. Just attaching energies to your Palkia V-Star and then playing cross switch. So at least you have an attacker in that ready to go.
Yeah.
If you do sort of slow down to an Iono. Looks like Alfredo is opting to play those cross switches. Go on and show us the cross switcher. I imagine it'll be into that Giratina V.
That being said, I was getting a bit worried about some of those outs. In this deck, there are 4 Pokestops and 4 Workers.
Oh, yeah, got more.
So alongside the 2 that he's already, well, used and discarded from its own Pokestop, there's still more outs there. But maybe that's just something Lawrence doesn't really know. But you still have to play 2 outs, right?
Yeah,
you have to play your path to the peak.
Yeah,
As we do see the superior energy retrieval hit the discard here. And now there's 4 in hand, needs 5 in total. There it is, all to the front of his hand.
All right, and here we go. Say it with me, Alex. Here we go. It's time to make it rain. Love it.
There you go. 2 prizes there.
Come on.
Up game 2, Alfredo now. It's on Lawrence with that free pivot, I guess, because that energy attachment on that Sableye. A pitch of the psychic energy from that Radiant Greninja now. Draws 2 further cards. Does need to find a way to retaliate and maybe start thinking about disrupting. But Chorus Experiment has to hit the field first. Has to hit the 7 to try and retaliate with a lost impact of some sort. Will he be able to do it?
Not quite there yet. I see a switch card. I see a Giratina V and another Chorus Experiment. Is that Giratina V-Star? I think it is actually a Giratina
V-Star, yeah. So very all important, well, a lot of important cards there actually.
Has to keep the switch card to maneuver into the conflict after retreat, and then switch card into an attacker. I think there was a Giratina. Ooh, maybe I've taken it wrong, but there's the switch card there. Goes to the Comfey. Maybe has one in hand, a maneuvering card in hand already. Needed that Giratina V as well, of course.
We are going to see a pay retreat there into the Comfey's flower selection. This will take us up to 7 in the lost zone. That's a very important number, Alex. That's going to mean those Mirage Gates now will be live to accelerate energy, which is really impactful for Lawrence to try and KO this Gimmighoul EX.
Yeah, I guess the only other view now is Lawrence has now given Alfredo an out to utilize Radiant Greninja as an attacker. There's 2 Pokemon there with under 90 HP with no protection from a Manaphy.
True.
It's gonna be worrying here for Lawrence to try and come back from that scenario.
Let's see if Alfredo notices that or goes for that line of play, which you're right, that would be fantastic. You know, Alfredo having a double cross switch there, didn't have to use Star Portal to pay retreat, which means Star Portal is live. But in saying that, if a part of the peak comes down, that would deny that option as well. And we know that Lawrence, you know, does play that full 4 count on path to the peak, so a bit of a mouthful there. So Alfredo would have to navigate that. But we do see the Mirage Gates being played there from Lawrence, and has actually got a guillotine of V-Star in play as well. So that means lost impact, dealing a colossal, a table-shattering 280 damage will be enough to KO that Gimmighoul EX and even up the prize race here for Lawrence.
Yeah, already has 3 energy on it now because of that jet energy that was on it before when it came up to besieging. Does have only that grass energy in the deck. Remember, 2 were prized.
True.
So interesting to see whether he'll be able to maneuver around it. Which cards, of course, he will need to lost impact, the psychic and the jet energy, just to make sure he can continue attacking and guarantee another attack if it survives a hit. Here's a guillotine V come down as well. Super important. But if you're Alfredo, your position, you're going to be in good spirits here, I think.
I believe so as well. You know, in a fine position here. As we want to see a switch card for Lawrence, going to go into a flower selecting. Go and look at top 2, keep 1, lost on you. Battle VIP pass, that's a very safe option to get rid of here when you're in your 2nd, 3rd, 4th turns of the game.
Jet energy as well, so can use that to be lost zoned. And now with that additional comfy flower selecting, just with this lost impact, we'll push him up to the 10 without having to worry anymore here. So it's on Alfredo here to try and retaliate. Super important to try and retaliate maybe at this point to knock out this V-Star if possible. Does need 6 energies on a Golden Godo.
Do you think going after the V-Star here or going for a Moonlight Shuriken?
I mean, it's got 2 energies on it. I feel like it's super important to try and take it out in this scenario. Maybe set up the checkmate with the Greninja. That
makes sense,
or, I say checkmate, it's not quite. But that's a potential option. I think everything's going through his mind right now. He's got so many cards in hand. Can continue drawing with Golden Go as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. You can sort of hedge your bet, right? You can KO active guillotine, the V-Star, and Star Portal now in the same turn. Doesn't mean you have to match Shuriken this turn. As it looks like Alfredo is going to promote the Gimmighoul. I think that gives us a little bit of insight into how this turn is going to play. Look at that hand, by the way. It's so gold. Pokestop being used. 1, 2, 3.
Your other option is to try and use the Palkia V-Star to knock out the guillotine of V on the bench.
That works as well.
Does need to fill the board a little bit more than just the 2 bench that he currently has. Gets to draw 2 from the coin bonus. There's the other cross switcher. So I believe has it in hand now.
So does have access to double cross switcher. So cross switchers would, you know, push Lawrence's guillotine V-Star out the active. He gets to choose what to promote. Does Alfredo, and Alfredo gets to switch his Pokemon as well. But I also think with this hand, the hand definitely supports a big make it rain into the active, and I think you're right. So moving 2 energy just seems so nice, and just forcing Lawrence to just, you know, immediately try and find V-Star, Mirage Gate, energy could be the way to go.
Does play the heavy ball, just kind of double checking what's there. Could have been used if he was just tracking a little bit of his prizes there. Could have been used as fodder for that superior energy retrieval. But I guess it's always good to double check what's available for himself, because he does have plenty of cards to work with in his hand anyway. Just deciding, because now that he's benched the Gimmighoul, I believe the Palkia V-Star is doing 220. 8 on the bench, plus the 60. Yes, 220 damage could take out the Guillotine V on the bench as an option. Because you have to be thinking, Lawrence will be looking to try and disrupt my hand on whatever I take a knockout here.
Yeah, that should be a really nice heads-up play. Let's see if that's what he goes for. I'm going to see a superior energy retrieval being played. Going to get back 3 metal and 1 water. And as I debating it, going to attack to the active. So I think that means we might just see a make it rain into the active. We're going to see a concealed cards 1 and 2. Whoa, all the energy here. Goodness gracious me. Earthen Vessel and another copy of basic energy. Love to see it. And I think if you're Alfredo, let's say you are going to swing into the active, right? Do you still Star Portal now? Because I'm just terrified of a path to the peak coming down.
Maybe if you can, it's definitely an option, depending on how many energies are on the discard. Maybe try and load up both the Palkia to 2 energies and the Greninja to 2 energies.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you have 2 attackers. you know, it's something that you definitely should be maybe considering here. If you put on a Greninja, it does mean it's got a big target on its back. But then that would mean
your two visors aren't taking damage then.
So Lawrence would have to put a V in the active. But yeah, it's just a big make it rain.
Oh, the big 300 damage make it rain. Alfredo going down to 2 prize cards left, is it? Is it 2 prize cards?
Yeah,
2 prize cards left.
You're right.
Oh.
Big hand, double cross switch is still available. But I'm sure Lawrence will be looking here to play that fantastic Roxanne and Path combo where possible. Has pitched his grass energy, unless he's been able to pick up the other one.
Yeah, did actually, you're right. As we are going to see the flower select in there, I think Lawrence did draw into a Pokegear and a Path to the Peak off the concealed cards. So would be able to hopefully grab their Roxanne. Depending on if they play that Chorus there, you kind of really need to play that Roxanne. But I'm sure it's a Chorus. Let's play the Chorus.
Yeah, this is a big option and decision made here. Did hit both grass energies from the prizes that he took, the 2 prizes that he took.
Yeah.
Does need Path to the Peak to be played here, and then needs it to stick.
Yep.
So that Star Portal was not an option, but does give Alfredo an opportunity now, even if Path comes down, to find another stadium, to find another supporter. But yeah, let's just see which direction Lawrence goes.
I've just noticed, you're right, if the Path to the Peak doesn't stick, Alfredo can just Star Portal, Moonlight Shuriken for anything, right? So it doesn't even have to slam the active realistically. So yeah, that Path needs to stick here for Lawrence, especially since supporter has been committed now, so there will be no Roxanne to reduce hand size.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw a Pokestop in Alfredo's hand, but need to get it confirmed once this turn is over with. Lawrence still has it all to do. Yeah, there you go. I think it's a little flash for everyone to kind of see as well. Lawrence can only play to his outs here. So does need that V-Star, does need the Mirage Gate. Can Requiem.
Yeah, still needs to actually attack at this point. Yeah, you're right.
There's the Path. Coming down. I mean, he's probably seen like 3 Pokestops, 2 workers. He's probably thinking in his mind that he's got it. He's locked up, all of the Path to the Peak in play. Little does he know, there's a vacuum, there's a Pokestop, I think there's more workers.
Yeah, 4 worker. I mean, it makes sense though in a deck like Golden Go, right? Where you're trying to fill your hand. If your supporter can discard Path to the Peak and fill your hand a lot, it makes perfect sense, right? As we do see a Nest Ball going to grab a Comfey there for Lawrence. And let's see what he can do. I think does have a V-Star, don't you? But yeah, he has put the V-Star down. I'm not sure if we've seen a Mirage Gate, I mean, that hand's huge. I haven't had a good chance to consult it properly, but still needs to. We see energy.
I don't think I've seen one.
No. There's definitely no Mirage Gate in that hand. Definitely not.
Yeah, because I think there's definitely been 1 or 2 that's already, maybe 2 that's already been played. One hit the Lost Zone quite early as well. There's the manual attachment, and it looks like just a pass. As Alfredo now,
here we go,
can just swing away with Greninja if he's seen it.
Has he seen it? I mean, it's definitely on board, right? What's the retreat cost?
Oh, no, Path to the Peak. Oh, he has it in hands, of course, that we've already mentioned.
So Golden Guy has a 2 retreat cost. So.
Double cross switcher in hand.
Oh, that's double cross switcher in hand. Yeah, you're right. Has he seen it? He's going to go for Nest Ball into the Gimmighoul. And I tell you what, they look very nice and all lined up, don't they? They are ready for business.
Arms folded.
Arms folded.
It would be pretty cool if he put one below the actual Golden Gun. You can see the arts are lined together, as we do see
multiple
the lost
path
vacuum
outs
as well. Yeah, even more than I would even considered. As we will get a chance to have a coin bonus as well for 2.
Goodness gracious.
2 big cards. 1, 2. That's not what you want to see.
Well, I wouldn't say big cards, but
I mean they're fodder.
They are fodder. They are fodder.
They're better cards to remove rather than anything else. But here's a Pokestop as well. He's just keeping going. Still 3 minutes 30 to go. Unless I've missed something, we can see a potential Moonlight Shuriken here. Maybe he just wants to go for the big KO.
I mean, it'd be a big. Oh, you mean to give it to the V-Star? I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, both work, right? And I think both. Yeah, does he have access to both right now? We're going to see Ordinary Rod. That's going to shuffle in
Palkia V-Star only hits, what, 260 as a cap without any damage modifiers?
Yep.
So full bench, 200 plus the 60 from Subspace Swell. So and I don't think there's any other damage modifiers in the list as I can see it right now.
No.
Cancelling Cologne's not needed because there's no mana fee in Lawrence's deck, actually, not even just on the field, but even in the deck.
The only thing is there enough energy in the discard pile to support a Moonlight Shuriken? I imagine there is. I mean, to be fair, no, there definitely is. So we're going to see a superior energy retrieval being played here. We need, what, 6 energy for Make It Rain to KO active Giratina V-Star.
And a retreat as well, 7.
And a retreat. Well, I guess you use Star Portal, I guess, to satisfy your...
If that's the route you're going down.
If you really want to put the pain on that Giratina V-Star.
What's Alfredo digging for? There's a concealed cards as well. Another
get to use coin bonus.
Another Cold and Go coin bonus active available. There it is. We're drawing more.
Ooh. Power pad. Love that. Good card.
Yeah, chuck more workers in.
I guess, is it easier to attack with this, the benched one now if you can cross switcher? Because you can just promote that one and...
Yeah, it's the same as attaching to any Pokemon and retreating.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true.
So, yeah, Alfredo just playing it completely out here. I mean, he's drawing a load of cards.
I don't mind it. Sometimes you just want to make sure you do all your actions
100%.
just to make sure.
But here's the worker as well. Is that the third worker played this or seen this turn? Another draw free. There's another Pokestop. We're just going to keep going, please. Why not?
You've got 3 cards left in deck, actually.
I mean, once you have your old deck, what else can you do?
So we are going to see energy to active. So now, pay retreat. Is this going to be into the Greninja now? It looked like he was eyeing up the Greninja.
Yeah, I'm interested.
There it is. There's the Greninja.
Have we seen it? Is this it?
And now I imagine we're going to see Star Portal.
Is this it?
Or we could see double cross switcher. We're going to see Pokestop. We're going to use that. Go on, show us what was left.
Maybe he wants to cross switch into the Golden Go. I'm dumbfounded now.
We do see Star Portal. Here we go. So free ward energy can be attached. Here we go.
Here we go. Star Portal.
Oh,
there's the free energy. Have we finally clocked?
Oh. Moonlight Shuriken into 2 1-prize Pokemon, Comfey, Sableye, and there's the concession there. As Alfredo takes our Game 2 here in our Swiss Round 7 feature match here at Dortmund Regionals, making it rain and throwing some Moonlight Shurikens as well.
Yeah, fantastic to see. So many different options there available. As we were just thinking and walking it through, there were so many different ways Alfredo could have tried to take that game, but utilizing all the time that was available to him and all of the cards available in his deck, in effect. But yeah, finally we saw essentially a Moonlight Shuriken for the win there to level up the game 1-1.
And that's one thing I really like. When any deck that can attack with Greninja makes it so multifaceted, right? Like, that Palkia I would imagine is mostly there so you can have a low maintenance attacker in Subspace well, but is very good at setting up Radiant Greninja as well. Who, 90-90, it's good numbers.
Yeah, it's incredible. We've often talked about Radiant Pokemon in the metagame and in the TCG. We've got the Radiant Greninja, Radiant Charizard's had its time at the top of the game as well. But they have fantastic abilities and fantastic attacks, and we've seen it utilized once again with the Greninja. Just to confirm as well that the time has ticked to 0 here, as both players are just shuffling up. That we do still could potentially see a donk.
We could see that. It can happen if one player sets up and everyone doesn't. Cramran is a fantastic merchant for that, So I'm intrigued to see who opts to go first. Or who chooses to maybe let their opponent go first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's on Lawrence to make the decision here, as we do get a chance to see both players just finalizing their shuffling. Opportunity to cut your opponent's deck, of course.
Yep.
Leave it in their hands on whether you do just start maybe that Gimmickle, and maybe that Cramran could come down and just swipe away a victory.
Oh, yeah. Spitting not so quite innocently, I feel as if it was the steal game back here in our Swiss Round 7. Lawrence and Alfredo both sitting at that 5-1 record. A win here would pretty much guarantee themselves a spot in day 2. And the loser still has opportunity.
Yeah, still in a good spot.
Still in a good spot. Makes it a little bit harder. You try and wrap it up now if you can. Here we are going to see some prize cards now. Let's see what we're working with. Nothing too impactful for both players, I feel, Alex.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, the Cramorant's not in there, so that's start number 1, but has started Palkia V and a Battle VIP pass. I think Lawrence was playing out for the Cramorant that was in the action slot. After shuffling, after all of that, we have a tie in our Swiss round 7 at this Dortmund regionals. Credit to both players. You know, Golden Go, we were able to see plenty of coin bonus and make it rain. And Lawrence also being able to take game 1 in true emphatic fashion as well. Yeah, it was just great to see how these decks were being piloted, and it was great to have, like I said, newer faces on the stream as well.
Newer faces and that Golden Go. You know, in game 1 didn't quite go off to the races, but in game 2 we saw those big making it rain, just tossing those coins across the table and dealing massive damage. And yeah, you know, all full credit. I'd love to see more Golden Go. So yeah, fingers crossed makes it through.
Who doesn't? Everyone loves to see a bit of make it rain.
There it is.
You know, dealing that incredible amount of damage, similar to what we've already said, that Chen Pao Hailblade, but this time not needing to utilize something like Super Cold to get energies on the board. But so many cards there that allow you to synergize throughout. You know, we have seen the TM evolution in the deck as well, whilst you sort of build up your board, get it ready. Does have excellent typing into Gardevoir, which we've seen a few times already on stream because it's such a good deck. And it's just got unrelentless power, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Unrelentless power. Like, if left unchecked, right?
Exactly.
You know, Worker, Coin Bonus, Conceal Cards, Pokestop. It plays in it reminds me of Chen Pao, right? Where it's going to keep constantly digging to try and get those energy, and then when you get there, you can just be like, ugh, there you go, have some of that. I'm going to take some prize cards now, and hopefully I can do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, no, exactly that. I mean, Golden Go is really fun to watch, really fun to see.